Hey guys, get ready to get your socks knocked right back onto your feet.
I don't think that's a saying. And if that's your attempt at an intro,
Come on, that's
we
good.
just lost half the audience. Will, your turn.
Oh, that was good.
Get ready to get your socks knocked back
Onto
onto
your
your feet.
Wait.
Because that'd be a hell of a podcast.
What were you thinking about?
Come on.
Were you
Because
trying to
it's-
do an intro?
Yeah, that was good. It's because I reversed it.
There.
I reversed
Get
it.
ready to get
Hey,
your
get
socks
ready to
knocked
get
back
your hair blown back onto your hips. Like, what?
This is going to unblow your mind.
This is going to tighten your
That's what I'm
socks
saying.
and laces up on
Wow,
your
God
shoes.
damn it. Just say welcome to SmartLess.
Welcome to SmartLess.
SmartLess.
Hey, welcome everybody.
Hey, guys. Hey, how excited
Hi,
are you?
Will. Will,
Hi.
look, have you ever had apple juice and ice like this? It tastes really delicious.
Is that what you wash down your egg salad with?
Yeah, a little bit. I had a little bit of eggs today and a bagel with cream cheese.
Wait.
If we turned you inside out, will we just see a big American flag?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, bless your
Wait,
heart.
Sean, so
What
what
does that
did,
even
what
mean?
did you start with today? You started with the bagel?
I do half of the
Plain bagel.
I do a full bagel. Half is cream cheese, half is butter.
Okay.
But it's plain.
Good
It's
for you.
plain, right?
Yeah,
Make
plain,
no doubt. It's a plain bagel.
It's a plain bagel.
Do you ever do you ever try to save the time because you got to slice it and put it? Do you ever just take a bite of the bagel and then just a big sliver of cream cheese
And put it
eat
both-
that and then some butter just straight down the hatch,
It'd be faster, that's for sure.
right?
More
Because you're
efficient.
wasting a lot of time. It seems like.
But you're a plain bagel eater. I don't know any of you.
Well, why?
What are you?
Why put it? You're going to put stuff on it. Why have it in there?
That's like just eating straight white bread. Most
Yeah,
people go
that's all
for
I
some
do.
kind of a flavor.
No, you put the flavor in the sandwich.
But have you not tried an onion bagel, sesame bagel,
No, I don't
poppy
need
seed
that.
bagel, everything bagel?
No,
No, but have you ever tried it?
No, I can smell it. So then, therefore, I've tried
You've
it.
never tried it?
No, I've only eaten plain bagels.
I mean, it's
try it.
undeniably
just
better
say try
than
it.
just a flat tasting piece of
Just give it a try.
round white
Okay,
bread.
look, I'll try it. I'm
Look,
open
you're
to it. I'll try it next time.
You're 52 years old.
At least.
I know.
Another thing I'd like to get you in on is this this torture that Will has dropped me into this torture chamber that Sam Jones, our friend who directed the behind the scenes tour thing of SmartLess.
The special that's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also one of our guests, Matt Damon, is also involved
Mr.
in this
Matthew
torture
Damon.
chamber.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a SmartLess torture chamber,
Oh, you're
and
talking
the
about
only
Quirtle?
person missing is you and also Scott.
I'll
So-
do it.
We're doing this. Yeah, we do the Wordle, Quirtle, and Octortle every morning,
Yeah, and it's
and then we have to do an aggregate score, and it's torturous.
well, I have an issue with the Octortle people. And listener, this is the 8
Octortle's so
puzzles.
stupid.
But
Yeah,
they
it's just,
think
what
of
is that?
these like, we get it. You're bright. You come up with these words that no one's ever heard of. But that's a hat on a hat. It's already difficult to figure out the 8 words. We don't
I
need to
know.
also figure out words in basically a different language.
Can I just say something, man?
It's
Can
hard
I
to
just say,
figure out the 5-letter word.
Well, can I just say something, Jason? Good for you, man.
You know,
Good for you for
I've had
finally
it.
standing up.
I need
No,
to
I
finally
know, and
speak
I
out. I've been
fucking-
afraid to speak out because
Dude,
I
this
don't
is-
want blowback.
Man,
Hey, have you guys ever played Mafia? Remember I talked about Mafia like a year ago?
It's not a word game.
what, are you?
It's
We're not
an
just.
app.
Sean, are you just doing loose association of ideas?
No,
now?
I'm
What's going on?
I'm the last
Us
night-
finishing
we're talking
talking
about
is not your cue to come up with
No,
a different
we're not-
subject.
No, I was telling you what I was doing last night.
Speaking
we
of,
played Mafia because you guys were talking about games.
Our guest today, guys. You see that?
Well, we're just going to get right into
yeah,
it.
we're
Are
going
you
to pop
tired of
into
talking?
this. Yeah,
Wow.
no.
Yeah,
But
all
it's just this
We barely
person,
even said like hello or
because this man is a director.
What?
And there are very few. Jason, I love bringing directors in for you because I just see you get all giddy
I
and all
just got
scared.
nervous.
ask
I
him how
know.
he sets up shots and how he
know.
lights certain angles.
And he's not just a director. He's a director of some of the biggest comedies and the biggest films of all time, incredible blockbusters, and also has produced some of the biggest, if not arguably the biggest now television show
Question mark.
Certainly
question
in
mark,
Netflix
question mark.
history, question mark.
Wait a minute, what?
This is
Oh, I
somebody
think
who's
I might
Canadian.
know who
This is somebody,
this
Shawn,
is.
that Jason, you've
Talk
worked
about
with.
nice hair. Here
I mean,
he
talk
comes.
about great hair.
I
Talk
can't wait
about
to see the
incredible
outfit.
movies.
There's his
It's
little
incredible
giggle.
Shawn
Right on. How about this guy? How about this guy?
Oh,
Hi,
God.
guys.
Are you in a? Looks like you're in a sort of an economical hotel.
It's just a Hungarian hotel.
Are you?
And
Wait,
I
are
am-
you in a hotel?
I'm in a hotel room where I have lived for 4.5 months in Budapest, which is the longest I've ever been on location and the furthest that I've ever been on location, and probably the last time that I will go this far away for this long. But
Did you
hi,
bring?
friends.
Hi,
Wait,
Shawn.
why are you there?
man.
Oh, you're lucky, listeners. This is a good
Yeah,
man.
this is great.
Tuck in.
I can't wait to talk about Stranger Things. I can't wait to talk about all the movies. This is so exciting.
But Shawn, I feel like there's no way we can let go today without. I feel like we had a moment, apparently in a casting session of A Night at the Museum, because yes, I've listened to every episode.
That's
so
right,
I've
that's
already
right.
gotten into Bateman's anti-turtleneck
Yes,
manifesto, but I handled that off air.
But
Yeah.
you're one of the 3 people that can pull it off.
Yeah, well, to remind the the listeners, that I auditioned for one of the Night at the Museum movies, and you
Which
were so
part?
kind to call me in.
Which
And
part?
it was for Napoleon, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Wow.
and
And
I
then
went in and I was
Walk
like,
got that part, didn't he?
who did?
Joaquin. It's just an inside joke.
Yeah.
He just wrapped it. Just wrapped
That's right. He
the
played Napoleon. He's
movie.
playing
Ridley
Napoleon.
Scott. Yeah. Pushing
Anyway,
I
back.
went
went
a
in with
different
a-
way with it.
I went in with a bunch of ideas and like
Uh-oh.
a dickwad, and you were like looking at me like, maybe you can direct it too.
Oh, really?
No, but I feel
Wait.
like no. So yes,
Shawn,
that
did you
is-
come with
Shawn-
that line?
I think I might have, according to Shawn Hayes, Shawn Levy, a young Shawn Levy, said, "Oh, did you want to direct it too?"
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Shawn. You don't know me that well. I don't do dry. Shawnee don't play dry. So I think I was going. That's like an Arnett move. That's a Bateman fucking superpower.
Yeah.
But as you know, and as you can probably tell already, I don't do dry very well. And
It
I think
did
I
make
was
me
going,
chuckle.
But I think I'm not sure the humor came across because I was off tone. And now I've learned to stay in my lane.
No.
I like to be obvious with my humor.
But while we're overseas, though, let's get back to Hungary. What are you doing in Hungary? And you've been there 4.5 months. I'll bet it's
Yeah.
something fabulous. Let's hear
It
it.
is something fabulous, and so that is kind of what gets me through it. I am doing. There was a book. I don't know if any of you read it called "All the Light We Cannot See."
I don't
Oh,
read
And
it.
this
Jason, we just
book
finished it.
came out for real.
No.
See, I don't do dry. That's a callback. Also used in comedy.
Shawn Levy, just so you know, if you ever reference a book again, and neither of them has read a book in
TV
years.
Guide was the last book I read.
By the way, I read 3 this week. Go ahead.
Okay. Well,
No
there
joke,
was a
on
book.
vacation.
There was a book called All the Light We Cannot See. It won the Pulitzer Prize, and it was a bestseller like 7 years ago. And they were going to do it as a movie, and I couldn't even get a meeting on it. And then I kind of waited and waited because I'm all about the long-term goals. And I found out about 3 years ago that the rights were available, and I chased it. And I said to the novelist, "What if we do it as a limited series? Because that is such, in
You get
the
more of your
7
book in there.
years,
Yeah.
and you get all your book in there." It's exactly right. And so then I decided to direct all of the episodes myself. So I am
That's my
here.
dream.
Wow.
It's intense.
How many episodes?
It's only 4 episodes, but it's like a 90-day shoot, which is
Wow.
even my biggest movies are 70-day shoots.
What
Yeah.
what's the elevator pitch? Like, what's it about?
It's World War II. There's a blind French girl and her father who are running from the Nazi invasion in France, and they're living in a coastal city in France. Her dad is Mark Ruffalo. Her uncle is Hugh Laurie. And I decided I wanted to do this with an actress who was actually blind. So
wow.
we did a global search, and we found this young woman named Aria Liberty who has never even auditioned for a part. And she is legally blind. And as you can imagine, it has been unlike any shoot that I've ever done.
That's
Now,
cool.
Shawn, not to get into Levy, not to get into the weeds, but so when you have a legally blind actor, what do you do about like if you have a real specific mark that an actor needs to hit because of technical issues with a dolly move or light or something like that? Like, how do you get around that?
Well, very often what we do is you put a little piece of rope.
Sandbags.
A sandbag is a tripping hazard. I've learned that the hard
Yeah.
way. So you literally put a little piece of twine underneath tape. And the truth is, when you don't have sight, all your other senses you use so intensely, including touch, and use your feet as other things that can feel. So she finds her mark with her feet. When she asks where the camera is, she's asked us to, we literally will snap where the camera is, because she uses sound to echolocate and map the room.
That's fascinating.
Every day is fascinating. And we have this kind of 20-something playing the grown-up version of this character, Marie, and we have this 7-year-old who is also blind named Nell, who we found in a small town in Wales, and she is playing the younger version. And so you've got these experienced people like Ruffalo and Hugh Laurie, and, you know, it's this big epic World War II kind of drama.
How old is the young woman playing the blind character?
She is in her mid-20s, and the younger is now 7.
So that's got to be wild for somebody in their mid-20s, not only just an actress with sight, but an actress without sight, learning the ropes of camera, blocking, lighting, like cues, and just all of that. It's fascinating.
Well, we've all had visitors come to a set at some point, and you see that people don't understand this strange workplace that is not like any kind of normal workplace. So she's got that, but she's never even acted. She never even was aspiring to act. She found out about this search from a teacher she had when she was 11, and she sent in an iPhone video out of hundreds. And she made it round after round after round after round, and then she got the part. So,
well, let me ask you this, because this makes sense. She obviously she's never seen a film or a television program by virtue of her not having the power of sight. But has she?
Thanks for putting that together, Will.
Yeah, but I was going to say, no, I mean,
sometimes you got to connect the dots for me. No, now I'm with you.
Obviously, it stands to reason. But I was going to say, is she aware of the
She's
stuff
heard
through
tons
pop
of them,
culture?
though.
Has she? No. Yes, what I was asking. Has she heard a lot of that stuff? Is she in touch with stuff in that way?
Very much. Yeah, like she's seen every Marvel movie. She came into this. I did a movie 2 years ago called Free Guy that she'd seen a bunch of times. She knows Stranger Things. So she is very steeped in pop culture, but she's not watching it. She is using audio description, and she loves it, but it's just in a different way. So
that's how I watch Ozark with my eyes closed. Same thing. Yeah.
So well, at least I'll speak for myself. I watch what I do and learn how to be better by noticing the things that I don't do well. If I didn't have my eyes, I wouldn't be able to see that. So how does one become a good actor if you've never seen not only what good actors do, but how you look when you feel an emotion, knowing how that comes across, how you're able to...
That's the crux of it. That's it. That's literally, we go through this almost every day where she'll play a scene and she might play it great, but maybe she's doing stuff with her face that is too busy, and she doesn't see herself or other actors.
And she's never seen a smile. She's never seen different versions of a smile.
And she's not seen herself in a mirror.
Yeah.
Wow. So it is profound every day. And so what she's learned is, okay, understand where the camera is. Like we've all learned, calibrate what you're doing based on the size of your face on that screen and the size of the lens. And she'll ask, and I've taught her like mini film school boot camp, like this is a medium shot. I'm at your waist. Then we're going to move the camera and suddenly it's more head to toe. So you can be a little freer. But what I've learned also, I mean, I've directed 13 movies now, and and Jason, I've directed you obviously, but like I use my face to direct so much. So like I might say, cut, Jace, let's, and I'll make a face, right? And I'll indicate what I want in the next take.
I got that one a lot from you. That was, listener, that was a not so much face. I got that from Shawn a lot. Like, hey, great, Jason, but maybe
it's kind of it's suggesting 180 degrees, like the absolute opposite of what
whatever
you're
doing. Can we just flip it?
Or we
As
have
I recall it, we have that. No, I prefer this one.
That one.
We got that version.
Right, that's
I
high
love
eyebrows.
that we have that.
High
Thank you.
eyebrows.
That's high eyebrows. And I'll do this hand gesture, like when Kobe used to make a shot and run back to play D, and he'd do this settle down hands. Just the settle, yeah. And so some of that I would just go to. I'm like, hey, Jace. And I would just kind of like push my palms downward to stuff down.
This is a dramatic scene. Yeah. Easy on the comedy.
Now, Shawn, is it because of like, Canadians are known for just being the nicest people in the world, but you have this energy about you because we had a breakfast like decades ago and you were so charming and so funny and so witty. And you have this infectious joy joyous energy. I'm sure I'm not the only person
100%.
to ever say that. That you
No,
must,
it's so good to be around.
yeah, that just must create this atmosphere on set. It's just a statement. I have no question. I just find you incredibly joyful.
It's real too. It's you don't know how somebody really is until you either play around to golf with them or you work a long schedule on a movie,
right.
because you can't hide in those situations.
I guess my question to that is when you're filmmaking, what really gets under your skin? Because I can't see you throwing a fit or getting angry.
Well, it's funny because a mutual friend of a bunch of ours, I heard Ryan Reynolds do your show, and I've now done 2 movies in a row with Ryan. And his favorite
I love Free
thing,
Guy, by the way.
Thank you. His favorite thing is when he's like, "Oh, Shawnee's going dark. Shawnee's going dark." And the truth
Never
is,
seen
my
it.
version. Well, you probably have, Jace, but it's like maybe the extent of it is like, guys, we gotta go.
Right.
Why are we not shooting? And but I just get more absurd. My voice gets a little screechy,
Right.
and I use my hands even more. So, but I know a little bit about your backstory, Shawn, because I listened to SmartLess.
Sure.
And I just like my mom. She liked the bottle, and it was not always an easy childhood. And I feel like I just willed myself towards happiness.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a sad life.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm gonna
I love
have
that. I
a
love that.
happy life, and I want the things I make to put that in the world.
Was Dad around growing up, or?
He was around, and I would go over, like for 2 days a week. And then when I was 13, I moved in with him and my stepmom and that family full time because I needed to kind of be saved.
Was this in Montreal, Shawn?
Yeah, it was in
So
Montreal.
your parents were split from when you were very, very, very young?
Yeah, from the time I was 3.
Oh, wow.
And it's weird because I never even talk about that stuff because A, who cares? And B,
I do.
some sense of privacy. But now that I'm, in the middle part of my life, I see like everyone's like, I'm doing a drama now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of comedies but what I've found is I just want to take feeling and put it on screen.
And plus, you're like an incredible dad too, with incredible daughters and
I have
incredible
a lot
wife,
of
and
them.
like.
I've had a lot of practice. I have 4 daughters.
Yeah.
And we will be right back.
Thank you to Solo Stove for supporting the show. So, I have wonderful memories of making s'mores on my stove, on my regular stove top in my kitchen. And those memories go far, far back, like at least a week ago. And I was like, Scotty was like, why are you making these on the stove when we could get Solo Stove? No joke. And I was like, well, they're so fast and easy and there's no smell and there's no, all this kind of stuff. He's like, that's what Solo Stove is. I was like, oh my God, what are you talking about? So we were talking about some of life's best moments happen around a roaring fire, right? And a smokeless fire pit from Solo Stove makes your outdoor moments even more memorable than doing things on your stove in your kitchen, right? Because instead of having to constantly dodge campfire fumes, you can sit back, relax, and actually enjoy the fire. Solo Stove fire pits are brilliantly engineered to be easy to use, and they're built to last. Easy to light with a few bits of starter, your fire is blazing in minutes. The stainless steel construction is designed to regulate airflow and burn more efficiently. So little smoke, you'll wonder how there's so much fire. So now what I do, if I want a s'more, we go in the back, we sit around the Solo Stove, and it's kind of creating like new campfire memories where they're supposed to be, not inside the house, if that makes any sense. They're so confident you'll love it. They offer a lifetime warranty and a 30-day free return policy. Right now, you can get big discounts on all fire pits during Solo Stove's summer sale and use promo code SmartLess at solostove.com for an extra $10 off. That's solostove.com, promo code SmartLess for $10 off on top of their incredible summer sale discounts. Thanks to GoodRx for their support. On this show, we all love a good laugh. But when it comes to our prescriptions, there's nothing funny about overpaying. Especially now with summer in full swing, we'd all rather spend our hard-earned money having fun and enjoying a good laugh with family and friends. That's where GoodRx can help. You can use GoodRx to find prescription savings at pharmacies right in your neighborhood like CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Vons, Walmart, and more. And GoodRx doesn't just work for new prescriptions. It can help you save big on your refills as well. Prescription prices change all the time, so be sure to check GoodRx for the best price before you head to the pharmacy for a refill. GoodRx is recommended by doctors, pharmacists, and millions of people across the country who have saved on their prescriptions. The really great thing about using GoodRx is how much money you save, how maybe it's beaten your prescription copay, and how GoodRx has helped by giving you the information you need to compare prices and save. So for simple, smart savings on your prescriptions this summer, check GoodRx. Go to goodrx.com/smartless. That's goodrx.com/smartless. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, Medicare, and Medicaid. In 2021, GoodRx users saved 81% on retail prescription prices. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. You know, as a creative person in the world, you know, acting, writing, whatever I'm doing at the moment, playing piano, whatever it is, I need to have a healthy mind, right? You need to have a healthy mind to be creative. So it's all works in tandem, right? So how well would you take care of, let's say, your car if you had to keep the same one your entire life? That's how our brains work. So why don't we treat them that way? How we care for our minds affects how we experience life. So it's important to invest time and care into keeping them healthy. There are plenty of ways to support a healthy brain, like learning a new language or taking power naps. I love that one. There's also BetterHelp online therapy. So, like, for example, the other week, I was feeling really kind of under the weather. It wasn't COVID. It wasn't the flu. I don't know what it was. It was allergy related, whatever it was. It made me really kind of depressed because I wasn't feeling myself. And I couldn't really create anything because I was stressed out about it. And so I need to release that stress when I'm feeling that way. And the great way to do that is to talk to somebody, to talk to a therapist if you can. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/smartless. That's betterhelp.com/smartless. And now back to the show.
So you have four. How old are your daughters?
They are 22 down to 11. So 22,
Wow.
20, 15, 11. So it's, and a wife of 28 years.
Yeah.
And so it's,
That's, I mean, it says it all.
Are they with you in Hungary? They're not with you in Hungary.
actually, you know what? They've mostly not been, but they were here until a few hours ago. And literally my wife's parting words to me when I dropped off at the airport is she's like, don't push it on SmartLess.
Yeah.
Don't. She knows that the more I love something, and this circles back to your question about like on set, I do tend to be pretty energetic because I love being there.
Yeah.
I love your show.
Oh,
I
thank
told your
you.
producers,
Man.
like, I can't think of doing press with something I love. And I've listened to pretty much every episode and it feels so authentic and funny as shit. And
I'm so glad
really
you're
thrilled
on
to
it.
be here.
It's such, you fit right in.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. We're surprised always. I was telling my buddy Todd down in St. Bart's, good friend of mine. We're always surprised that people listen to the show. So thank you. I will say, I want to ask you a little bit about, so you're in Montreal, and how does a guy from Montreal go on to direct huge movies and become Shawn Levy?
But for Tracy, let's just rattle off.
I know,
because
because I feel like Tracy and many of your listeners are like, who is this?
No.
And that's okay.
Well,
I
it's
get it.
hard for us because here's one of the things. When I start to describe who it is and I start listing off your credits, then I know that immediately Bateman and Hayes are going to get it really quickly. So I'm trying to do it. So you directed 13 films, some of which are all the Night at the Museum movies.
Yeah. Did you direct Cheaper by the Dozen?
I did.
Yeah.
Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yep.
Free Guy. You
Yeah.
did.
The recent one was called The Adam Project.
You also directed Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is the weird. It started with a conversation with you, Jason, because we did a movie called This Is Where I Leave You. And in my experience, when you think you're making the thing that's going to change everything, it ain't the thing that's going to change everything.
Right. So true.
Right? So like, because I was the family comedy guy and I'd done like Pink Panther and Cheaper by the Dozen and Date Night and Night Museum. And I found this book called This Is Where I Leave You and I chased it for 5 years and I got the cast of my dreams. It's Jason with Adam Driver and Jane Fonda and Ben Schwartz and
Tina Fey.
Catherine Hahn and Tina Fey. It was ridiculous. It was like a murderer's row every
Corey
day in a
Stoll.
little house. Corey Stoll. And no one went to their trailer. We stayed in the house and we shot 28 days and it was
so
great.
fun.
So good.
And then it didn't do very well. And I then had to do a panel. And Jason was the moderator. And I was hurting. Because when you fail in this job, it's public and it hurts. And all of us have felt it. And I was like, Jason, I don't know if I can kind of like turn it on tonight. And he goes, hey, we made someone's favorite movie. Might be one person's, might be a couple of dozen. But this movie, the people who are seeing it and who it resonates for, they're going to hold on to it. And it was this revolution. You don't even remember this conversation, Jason, but I had lived and died by the sword of box office for so long. There was one metric of success. What's your opening weekend? What's your worldwide gross? Right. And I made those kinds of movies and I had a good run. But that was the beginning of, wait, maybe there's other measurements of why you do things.
And there's other movies that don't lend themselves to popcorn box office.
Yeah.
You know?
And there are plenty of movies that you know in the history of the cinema, if I can borrow that term from a bunch of young actors who have no reason or right to use it.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break. It's like I hear a guy going, in the cinema, I'm like, you grew up in a fucking trailer in Florida. Shut the fuck up.
Call it movies.
But there have been a lot of, there are a lot of, I guess my point is this. Shawn, if you're ever trying to figure out how to deal with getting kicked in the nuts in show business and how to deal with it, just call me, man. Because I've got tons of experience. It's almost all I've had. I always joke that if it wasn't for bad movies, I wouldn't have made any at all. So so if you ever want to make yourself feel better, just fucking call me. And
Thank you for that resource.
And you just go,
Thank you.
I'm a fucking success. What am I talking about? I just talked to Arnett. What a loser.
Wait, Shawn, can I ask? Because
You couldn't tell by his tan, though. The guy looks like
that's
$1
true.
trillion.
Yeah, it's true.
You got Paul Anka type of tan going right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Another great Canadian.
Yeah,
That's deep.
exactly.
But I need to fan,
so
can
wait,
I
hang on.
fan out?
We never answered this. So you've made all
But
these.
Shawn, are you going to remember your question or should
Yes,
you want to
I'll
ask?
remember.
No, write it
I was
down,
just going
Shawn.
to say that at the end of that year, 2014, that happened. I made the Last Night Museum movie, and then Robin Williams, with whom I'd made 3 movies over 10 years, died. And I was just knocked out. And I said at that point, like, I'm going to say no for a while and see what happens. I'm going to have, because I'd done a movie a year for a decade.
Right.
And in that breath came Arrival.
Yes, one of my favorite movies of all time.
And in that same moment came Stranger Things.
Wow.
And those things changed everything and have changed everything since.
That's right.
I was going to mention, those are the two. Arrival's one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen it like 10 times. I mean, have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
I've seen Arrival, but I want to get back to Shawn. Before we get into that, I want to get back to right that moment you were just saying, that moment changed your life. It was a shift of perspective that you had.
Yes.
Right? And once you were able to kind of get out, as you said, stop chasing this thing, stop looking for that, stop looking to measure your own success. We've talked about this based on what you do or how you do in the box office, but more, I'm going to say no because I'm going to find something because I don't know anymore, right? In a certain way, you just kind of, it's that ability to just let go and surrender to the process and just go, fuck it, I don't know.
And also just to why did you guys start SmartLess? Because as near as I can figure, you wanted to see what it was like, right? The pandemic was happening and who knows if this will be something. I remember texting with Jason early on. No one knew if it would become something. You did it because you wanted to, and it seemed like it would be fun and interesting.
Right
and
here, yeah.
The same thing, Stranger Things, no one wanted that show. I wasn't even in the TV business. I'm a movie director, and these boys, these duffers came in with the best script I'd ever read. And I literally brought them into my office and I said, I don't know what's going to happen, if anyone will watch it, but I definitely want to help you get it made.
I'm sure I'm not the last or the first person to say this, but it gave me a lot of my childhood back.
Yeah.
It was like, that's exactly how I lived.
Hopefully you're the last to say that. I mean, I know you're not the first.
But I would
hopefully
ride my bike to my friend's house. We'd play Dungeons and Dragons.
Sure.
I mean, it's like so cool.
But so Shawn, it's just another example of how keen your eye is for stuff that is going to be appealing for many, many, many people in addition to the fancy folks. Because the fancy folks love all the commercial movies that you've done, including Stranger Things. But these things all get great reviews too. So what is it about? Look, we can just take Stranger Things for an example. You said you're not sure if people are going to watch it, but you definitely saw something of value there to push forward and want to champion it. So what was it about that show and your eye in general that can find the populist thing that also is married to kind of the sophisticated thing?
Well, I think the populist thing is if it has a theme that I think everybody wrestles with, that's when I say yes. So like Stranger Things, it was about a missing kid in another dimension, a monster, but it's really an anthem to outcasts.
Yeah.
That is about the AV club, the people who don't fit in, who find each other, and their connection is their superpower. That's everybody. Every human has felt at points, whether as kids or teens or as adults, like, wait, where is my place in this constellation of people for whom life seems so much fucking easier? Right. And when I just have a feeling that a lot of people can relate to an idea, to a theme, those are the ones they said yes to. Like I said no to Free Guy 5 years ago when I read it as a script. But when Ryan read it and called me over and said, look, I'm not a big gamer either, but it's about someone who feels helpless in their world. It's about an actual literal background character living in a world that is shitty and they feel powerless in it and considers that maybe they can do something in it. That's the theme of Free Guy. That's why I did Free Guy. The gaming stuff helps sell it, but it's not why we made it.
Right.
So I'm always looking for theme, and that's what it was on Stranger Things.
I love that.
Such a great success story.
It changed so much. It came along at the right time at the.
Where is Stranger Things now? In its second to last season? Question mark?
Yes. We, in fact, by the time people are listening to this conversation, we will have launched Volume 2 of our 4th season. So we launched 7 episodes called Volume 1, and we're doing only one more season.
Wait, you're going to do another season after this one?
Yes, we are doing season 5, and that will be the last.
Wow, that's super cool.
Are you going to get in there and direct any of those?
Always. I mean,
every season you have.
Correct. Every season I have directed episode 3 and 4. And it's some of it is superstition, but it started off, the idea when we sold it to Netflix was the Duffers wanted to direct all of them. And they were directing the first few episodes, and it became clear that they were never going to finish writing the season. So I basically said, I'll come to Atlanta where we film, and I'll do a couple of episodes, go hibernate with the script. So I came in and I ended up doing episodes that, the Christmas Lights episode in season 1. And these moments that, I mean, I've never directed horror, but what I love about the job, it's probably what you do too, Jason, which is, okay, what tone does this story want? Right? There's some directors like Wes Anderson or Baz Luhrmann where their stamp is the same on everything they make. That's not the kind of director I am. I'm going to change the Free Guy looks different than the Atom Project. Looks different than Night at the Museum. So I'm always, and I learn new visual muscles, or I gain more visual muscles on Stranger Things. And ever since then, 2 episodes a season, and that'll be the same thing next year.
That's so cool. Cool.
It's so great. It's that Spielbergian type of cinematic approach that, your stuff has always looked great, but there's a muscularity to the way in which those Duffers established kind of that cinematic heft.
Well, do you know what it is that's interesting? Shawn was saying it brought back his, a certain period of his life. Me too. The Duffers were born in '84. Wow. So for me, I'm doing a nostalgia trip, right? But their show, what they're doing is the movies of the 80s that they watched on VHS in the 90s.
That's right.
That's the love letter they're doing.
That's right.
I'm doing a love letter to my high school years.
Right.
And it's interesting that we have different access points. And now my stepmom, who's in her mid-70s, loves the show, and so do my daughters. And that's the unicorn thing about Stranger Things is the demographic crossovers.
Let me ask you something about comedy because, obviously you're a pro in it. And what do you do when you get somebody on set that an actor, is there like a trick you do or some kind of exercise you do when you take a, quote, non-funny person or like somebody who's not known in comedy and try
this
to...
This takes me to my question about Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, why do you keep working with him? He's just a scene killer. You just go into the editing room and you just go, okay, let's rework it.
Yeah, I've had actors who you definitely go in the edit room, you're like, fuck, I gotta save this one. I gotta save it. But
No,
Brian
someone
and
whose strength isn't
Oh
comedy.
no, I've had it. Like, look, I would love to name
Sean.
names.
By the way, Hayes, that you're putting it really nicely for some fucking people who are just not funny, and you have to make them funny. How
Here's
about
what
that?
I've learned, guys. I have learned this repeatedly, and I so want to give you the famous names as examples because they're really famous and they're
3, 2,
phenomenal in their own like lane.
Sure.
But here's what I know: you can get a great dramatic performance from a comedic genius of an actor.
Yeah.
We've all seen it. We've done it. You cannot make someone unfunny hear the music if they are tone deaf. And I've literally, there was an actor on Night at the Museum where I'm like, no, do you hear, like, take the pause, like, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. And then that actor would go, ba 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 ba, nope, listen to me, ba 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. And it's literally on Free Guy.
That's what you get.
Jodie Comer had never done comedy.
There,
right?
we got the name, guys.
No, it's not Jodie Comer because she ended up being great
She's
because
she's really funny.
she's really funny. But here's how: for the first few days, she was like Jane Fonda was on our movie, This Is Where I Leave You, where she's watching the funny swirl around her, and she's like, "Where do I fucking get my boat in this river?
Right.
Like it's moving too fast. How do I get my boat in the water?"
Yeah.
And with Jodie Comer, I said, "You're like an accent savant. I've seen Killing Eve. You're like, your ear is insane." That's how you think about comedy. It is sound, it is inflection, it is rhythm. Hear the rhythm, hear the pitch. That's where you'll find the funny. And she's working with Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi and Utkarsh and Bhutkar, who are all such Jedi masters at funny that she used her ear. So I'll usually, Shawn, sometimes they cannot be saved and I'll cut around them. Or I just won't go to them for comedy. I'll literally go, "You're the backboard. Everyone just keep shooting. This is the backboard. Their name is X. They happen to be in a scene with you." But I try to find some way.
That's my career.
Wait,
Funny, and then cut to Bateman for reaction.
Levy, slow down because Sean's writing all this down. He needs to know how to be funny. So slow down, and you got the last bit right. And so just listen, Shawn.
You just play it back for yourself later, Shawn, when it's released.
I love, we always joke around. We talk about it sometimes, not even just in work, just in life. People who aren't necessarily that funny. And by the way, I'm not saying that we are the fucking end all or we're particularly funny.
You're
whatever.
extremely funny. I'll say it because you can't. You're super funny.
No, but I will say
always
that
someone
again.
funnier.
Like there's always somebody funnier. But people who aren't necessarily funny, they come at you sometimes because they think like, oh, you guys rib each other. So all they do is they come at you really hard in a really weird way. And I was doing a tennis match once, one of these things at U.S. Open.
Match?
Yeah,
like
years
you were
ago.
Playing in the match?
Yeah,
or?
it was like a charity
Oh, a
celeb
celeb
thing
thing.
to raise
Cool.
money for the U.S. Open, and it was me and Farrell against a couple of guys, and one of the guys. This is a long time ago, so I feel confident, but maybe I'll know. And all he did was just come at Farrell so hard in this way that I kind of looked at Will and I was like, geez. And he's like, yeah, what the fuck, man? Just fucking take your foot off the gas.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
Because they had their instinct. And I have seen it at work before a couple times too. And it's really awkward. And you're like, man, just cool it.
Just don't. No. Literally, I had this somewhat recently where an actor was like, no, but I'm like, just stop trying. I'm begging you.
Yeah,
stop trying. This is not your thing.
But that's youth. I think that's like young. That's how I was probably in that audition with you, or probably in lots of auditions or whatever. You're just so young. You're just like, I got to try really hard, and you don't know.
But Shawn, your attitude is different. There, you're actually trying to do something. You're not trying to. You're not doing out of fear. Or
But you know what else it is? I think, and I talk about this with my daughters a lot. I think that at a certain point, we all want to have an idea of who we want to be, right? But we are each given certain gifts and we are lacking certain skills. Yeah. And at a certain point in life, you have to look at what you are.
That's right.
And you have to distinguish it from what you want to be.
That's right. That's
because
exactly
no one ever got to a happy life hitting their head against a wall if it's not dovetailing with the gifts they have. And I do feel that
God,
maybe
this is like the best therapy.
but it took me a lot of years. Like I remember after Night at the Museum, I wanted to do a dark drama. And I remember Chris Columbus, who was a producer on Night at the Museum, he said, why are you running from the thing that comes easily to you?
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't feel like you're doing anything.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's exactly right.
But it's
Jay.
actually, you've just identified the thing you're natural at. Enjoy.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's weird too. I don't know if you
true.
guys feel the same way. I feel at this age, it's almost like within, I'm 52. It's within the last 2 years.
You don't look
that
it, man.
Thank you.
You don't look it. You don't look it.
But when that tan fades, I'm concerned.
Yeah, then you look 70. Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
You are? I woke up this morning and I already felt like a fucking loser. But I think it was quite honestly, it was 50 that made me realize all these things and all these things, these hangups that I had, or these ideas, or the story that I would tell myself about myself.
Yeah.
I just started to change it.
Yeah.
And and the things I was worried about or I cared about, I don't care about anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is I'm 53, and it is definitely like there's a lot that's shitty about midlife, but there are some things that are really fun. And the two that I found is acceptance.
Yeah.
God willing, some fucking acceptance of what and who you are. And the other is I do find, Brian talks about this sometimes when we're on set, because like we'll walk on and I can block that scene and know my shots in about 3 minutes now.
Yeah.
It did not come that easy and that smoothly a decade ago. And you get a competence at your work as you get into midlife that is, I'm finding it enjoyable, like really enjoyable.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Hey, SmartLess listeners, this episode is brought to you in part by ZipRecruiter. Certain people just make my life so much easier. I don't know what I'd do without them, but finding and hiring the right person can be tough, right? Some people refer to their assistant as the person who helps them the most in life. I have an assistant I also live with. His name is Scotty. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1. We signed a contract, whatever, it's none of your business. It's like if you own a growing business and need to hire, ZipRecruiter makes hiring so much easier because they do the work for you. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/SmartLess. ZipRecruiter uses its powerful technology to find and match the right candidates up with your job. You can easily review these recommended candidates and invite your top choices to apply. Additionally, ZipRecruiter has a complete suite of tools that make it easy to filter, review, and rate your candidates. In fact, the hardest thing you have to do is to remember our special URL, ZipRecruiter.com/SmartLess. That's where you go to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/SmartLess. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. SmartLess is brought to you in part by Helix. We've been huge fans of Helix mattresses for a long time. In fact, we're such big fans of theirs, we all got more mattresses earlier this year. So what is it that makes Helix Sleep so effective? It's their quiz. It takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. It's kind of fun to take the quiz because it's all about you, right? I took the quiz and it was a breeze. It's super easy and it's really kind of fun. And at the end, it matched me with the Helix Dusk Luxe mattress. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses. Mattress is great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. Mattress is great for spinal alignment to prevent morning aches and pains. And even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers. So I got the Helix Dusk Luxe mattress. It's perfect. I sleep like a baby every night. So if you're looking for a mattress, just go to helixsleep.com/SmartLess. Take the quiz. It's fun. Order the mattress that you're matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't ever need to go to a mattress store again. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/SmartLess. That's helixsleep.com/SmartLess. Thanks to Audible for their support. With my schedule and how I'm always on the go, I don't have a ton of time to do the things I want to do, like reading. That's why I love Audible. Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre, that is French for genre. From bestsellers and new releases to celebrity memoirs, mysteries and thrillers, motivation, wellness, business, and more. As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases. All Audible members get access to a growing selection of audiobooks, Audible originals, and podcasts that are included with membership. You can listen to all you want, and more get added every month. You know what's great about Audible? You can listen to it anywhere. I listen to it sometimes when I'm traveling. It's great when I'm working out. It's like a nice distraction, and you're working out and getting exercise while learning something. I also do it like, doing chores, if I'm doing like dishes or laundry. Who am I kidding? Scotty does that. Let Audible help you discover new ways to laugh, be inspired, or be entertained. New members can try it for free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/smartless or text SmartLess to 500-500. That's audible.com/smartless or text SmartLess to 500-500 to try Audible free for 30 days. And now back to the show.
Your work ethic is just incredible. The amount of work you're able to put out and at a high level. Do you think that's part of it now, even more so? That because you're so confident with what you're doing, you're so comfortable with what you're doing, that you can take on so much? Because, Shawn, your output is just stunning.
Yeah,
I mean, your company is just thriving. Do you feel? I bet you don't feel overwhelmed. I bet you don't feel like you're under servicing anything.
I rarely do.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole goal, especially once I had that like 2014, 2015 moment where I was like, oh, wait, I can't control outcomes. So I'd better stop living for it. I'd better stop living for box office as if I can control it. That was always
Just
a
living
fable.
for process, right?
Process.
Yeah.
You cannot, you don't know if your movie or show is going to do well. You
Right.
do it because you believe in it, and then you better goddamn well have fun while you're making it.
Yeah, and enjoy the people that you've hired to work with.
Yes, and that's definitely where I've been at the last several years.
Yeah,
I've
that's
had people
awesome.
look at me funnily because I've sort of said something similar where I said, like, if I'm going to do something that's going to take me away from my family and my kids, which is obviously that stuff comes into more and more into focus of like, of course it's more important than anything else. So if I'm going to do it, it better be fun. And I have had people in a professional setting be like, look at me kind of strangely like, oh, that's important to you to have fun? It's work. And I'm like, no. We don't get another crack at this. This is it now.
Yeah,
You're in it now. There is no, it's not like, and then I'll do this, and then I'll do the thing, and then I do it. No, it's now. It's now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's now.
For sure.
It's now.
What are you waiting for? Yeah, to do that. But Shawn, to that point and everything you said earlier about just kind of reaching middle age and kind of figuring out who you are and staying in your lane or kind of veering off just ever so slightly, but still kind of staying in that on the same road at least. What just looking at what you have coming up, you're like 17 things in production as a producer. Are you one of those personalities that has to have all of these things going, or are you reaching a point in your life where you're like, you know what, I have to find balance because that's what I'm kind of talking out loud for myself. Balance about like, yes, to Jason's point, you have this company that's just massive and doing all of these things, but are you afraid of downtime? Because I'm just reaching that point where I'm figuring out that balance.
I used to be. I am not anymore. This long location gig crystallized a lot for me. And I think we're making something special, but that's still 5 months that I missed of my daughter's life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to your point, I mean, I think you put it so beautifully, like it's happening right now.
Right.
The thing that you're planning for and goal create, like it's it. This is happening, and this is all part of it. So, and that's the other. I don't know, Will. I think you have some kids who are maybe teens, and I don't know with the ages. Jace, I think yours are a little young still, but that was a big part of that 2014, 2015 crucible moment where my oldest was in 11th grade, I think, and I was like, wait a second. They're not going to live with me forever? Like, that was a revelation.
Yeah.
I somehow never thought about it with terror and the heartbreak of, these years that we are a family together, they are finite and they end. And that changed things too.
Mm-hmm. This summer, so I'm out on the East Coast in the summertime, because when I'm not in St. Bart's, I'm in East Hampton. And sorry, I'm just sorry, you guys should know I'm going for douchebag of the year, so I'm trying to say as much as I can
I think
at
you
once.
just locked it. You just locked it.
I don't know.
No.
But
Take your yacht to blow.
no, actually, you know what? I drive a GMC pickup while I'm out here because I'm also kind of a contrarian.
Well, is it professional grade? Because if it is, that would make
Obviously,
sense.
it's professional grade. Yeah, and it's got the multi-pro tailgate.
Yeah, good for
which
you.
was developed by GMC.
Wow,
We
what?
are professional grade.
Sound just like the guy who does the commercial.
But the point is this. So I'm out here, and my son, Archie, who's 13, he said to me like last week, he goes, "Hey, can I borrow your," it's like, "I'm going to go work out." And I said, "Okay," which has become like kind of a new thing. And he's like, "Hey, can I borrow your shoes?" And I said, "Sure." And then he's 13 and he's wearing my size 12 shoes. And I don't know why that it felt like such a bucket of cold water on my face. I was like, my baby is wearing my size 12 shoes.
Wow.
What? And I just wanted to hug him and like keep him small. Just be like, oh, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it starting at 5th grade, they actually start to be like, I'm kind of good. I want to hang out with my friends this weekend. And then when they're 18, they're just gone. And then they come back once or twice a year if they like you for some holiday visits. But other than that, their next stop on the family run is with people they haven't even met yet. And those are going to be their family.
Yeah, that's great. That's
and
intense.
it's just like, I literally just put Franny on the plane this morning for camp in Europe for 5 weeks. Literally, I had to get up.
Well, maybe I
this
can look
morning.
in on her because if she's probably close to where I am right now,
Yeah.
I can pop over and I can hover if you want.
Yeah. If you're near Amsterdam, get over there.
Oh, she had to go to Amsterdam first too. She kept saying, "I need to go to Amsterdam."
Yeah, you gotta fill up the backpack. But I'm trying to train myself to be okay with kissing goodbye and enjoy life. Go ahead.
How was the goodbye though, Jay? Today is she excited to go?
Yeah.
She was awesome. She was very brave, very happy. Nervous, but on it. She's got coping skills. And that's the thing I think is all you can really hope for is to try to build them that healthy, decision maker on top of their shoulders, and then
with a good dollop of self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because the way that they expect and feel worthy of being treated in the world.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to build, right?
Yeah.
Is that they go out there and they find relationships that deserve them.
Yeah.
And that they don't settle or think they should settle for less.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jace, I can tell you in your case, you're lucky because she's got a great head on her shoulders and she's a great kid.
Yeah,
She's going to be
old
okay
soul.
and you're going to be fine. Yeah. She's an awesome kid. Objectively,
it.
she's an
Thank you.
awesome kid.
Thank
Love
you.
her.
Yeah. And the camp goodbye is just warm up for the eventual college goodbye. That one is brutal.
Yeah,
I've
how
done
did
that
you do-
twice. It wrecked me.
Even the college tours, just driving around and seeing the places where they are going to be going, even 2 years before they go, I'm going to be a disaster.
It's such a cliche, I realize that, but that college tour is a real kind of watershed memory builder, but the goodbye, because now they don't live with you anymore, and they won't again. They might, but in some ways you hope they won't.
Right.
But that's, it's just all these kind of, you realize all these moments they're not going to be reclaimed, so you better be savoring them now, at work, at home.
Hayes, you're lucky that your dad left when you were young. Because you didn't have to go through. You spared him all this shit.
Now, Shawn,
lucky.
do you worry that you're going to gas and run out of steam right at the moment that you're an empty nester, when it's like it's time to get to work because you don't have to worry about the kids back at home and being like. I worry about that. I worry about like working super hard while they're still at home and then running out of gas, and now the house is empty except for me and Amanda.
If I have 1,000 other terrors,
Yeah.
the gas tank feels full every morning, like someone snuck in and refilled it at night.
Yeah.
That's how, and I know I feel really lucky about that. And by the way, Shawn, the dad backstory is, if anything, it's given Will Arnett comedy gold.
Yeah.
I
He
feel
doesn't
like
miss
it-
any of those pitches.
I
No,
love
he
it.
hits them all hard.
and it's for like over 100 episodes now.
Yeah, I love it.
So on behalf of all listeners, Thank you,
Yes.
Daddy.
Wait till you see the documentary.
Thank you for giving Will Arnett such fodder.
Thank
You get
Dad.
to put a face to all those jokes on the
Oh,
documentary.
no, I don't know
He
if I
just-
want the face. I don't know if I
he
can handle the
crushes
face.
it.
That's so
Yeah, by
funny.
the way, anybody can make a joke on any subject, but try making 1,000 jokes on the same subject. Good fucking luck. Bring it. Fucking bring it.
Oh my God, we
God.
do a bunch of stuff on food too, which Shawn, I know you and I have gone round and round on. Although you're naturally beautifully thin and narrow, just like got a little
I
hummingbird.
know. Why are you so in
Yeah,
shape?
you do. You have the body of a Frenchman.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't know what, I mean,
Yes, just
I've
take it.
heard these things. I'll take it. Thank you.
Mhm. You
I'll
and
take it.
Ryan.
But no, speaking
What's
of Ryan, I
craft
literally,
service look like on a set with you and Ryan and the caterers? Like, there's a salad bar set up every day, right?
I'm not big on salad, but I do get super bitchy if I don't eat protein every 3 hours. I have learned this about myself. So this is where I go for the douche award. You and me are neck and neck now, Will, because
Sure.
one of the job duties of whoever is my assistant on a movie is you got to get protein in my body every 3 hours, or
No.
the whole crew is going to pay the price.
Is this plant protein? It's plant protein, isn't it?
No, it's like, the
No.
Ryan Hugh diet. It's like the chicken, the boring chicken breast, maybe the sashimi. It's like,
Go ahead, Will. I know.
Oh, he doesn't know about. Yeah, I was. This on the tour,
Okay.
which was. Which
I
was.
really
Yeah,
missed
we don't
out.
want to ruin
I
it.
really
we
missed
don't want
out.
to. We don't want to ruin the joke.
No, you will not ruin it. It's got 4 or 5 uses in it.
Guys, I was going to make something else, but I got Japanese food instead, sashimi. So
It's a take
it's
on
not even a
sashimi.
joke. It's
Yeah, but it's an evergreen.
so
I feel like that
lazy.
one's an evergreen. Like, I feel like I've heard them laugh at that joke on this show before.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
you have, yeah.
and
It's
it's
a
still
dad joke.
landing. It's
a
still
dad.
landing.
But wait, do you ever eat like crap food? Do you ever like? me?
I love sugar, and if I start, like if I had a bag of like caramel corn right now, I would finish it like it's my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now like when I'm in an airport, especially if I'm alone, and I'll get like one of the the mega size M&Ms with peanut butter in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget it.
What is your number one? Well, I want to go around the horn because I don't actually know this. What's everybody's number one dessert if you could have only one, like your top of the list? Go.
Dessert.
Ice cream. It's always.
Wait,
ice
hang
cream.
on, it's not your turn.
Oh, I thought you pointed at me.
What the fuck? God, not only you can't even wait, you can't wait to get it out, and you can't wait to get it in. I mean, Jesus.
I'm partial to a creme brulee. I like a good creme brulee. But again, I'm
With a
not like
snappy top.
I like a little crunch top. I like to
Sure.
work through the crunchy
Sure.
surface to get to the mushy innards. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
You like
my
it when it
go-to.
gets that real methy lighter when they
Yeah,
when
it's
they
even better
caramelize
if
the
they do
top.
it at the table. So I see someone working.
Sean's still dying from. You can't wait to get it out, and you can't wait to shove it in.
How many times has Scotty said that to you?
Wait, Bateman, go.
Yeah, I don't
You're not a
thi- I
big
don't-
dessert guy either. But go ahead.
I can't even imagine you eating dessert, Jason.
I do. You want to know how douchey and terrible it is? I do like Carbo Light. That's the frozen yogurt with no sugar, no fat,
fuck.
no dairy.
God.
I have no idea what it is, but it's cold, it's colorful, and you can eat it with a spoon.
It's so, by the way, that's so fucking lame. One of the first times Jason and I, like over 20 years ago, he was like so excited. And he goes, right down on Crescent Heights in Beverly. Remember that place in the fucking
Yeah,
mall?
sure I
And
do.
you were like, well, let's go get the fro go or whatever the fuck you called it. And it was like plastic.
Yeah.
And he's like, isn't this great? And it's nothing, right? And I'm like, no, this is fucking.
No, it's disgusting.
Listen. I'm not above admitting I love dessert and I love ice cream like Shawn. Like Hayes.
Shawn Levy,
Yeah.
you're in Hungary right now. Tell us, what do you do in your free time there? Tell us like any kind of crazy stories about the.
I wish I had crazy stories. I've definitely fought the blues here a bit. I have to admit,
I bet.
it's a long haul. I've been alone for most of it. I've had so much goulash.
Yeah.
And it is as it sounds, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of that should be an adjective for how it's been for 5
Yeah,
months.
you're pretty east there in Hungary.
Yes.
Eastern European is a different look. There's a palette there, literally, that is a little bit grayer and
And you feel the history. You
Yeah.
feel centuries of occupation. And but I did. So I finally realized, wait, I am a happy person. Why am I not happy? I got to go places on the weekend. So I went to Berlin, and there I did have a wild weekend. I did exactly what you imagine in your head you would do. And like age inappropriate. I was with my brother. We went to a club till 4:30 a.m. That was the song. Yes, exactly right, Jason.
That's hysterical.
And it's weird. The clubs in Berlin, I mean, what I kind of noted, like, there's no aggressive kind of creepy vibe. It's just everyone is actually there to listen to that beat that Jason can do with his mouth freakishly well, by the way, and just dance.
I started as a beatboxer. Yeah.
I love Berlin. I'm with you. I love Berlin. I think it's one of the great cities. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
Great restaurants.
How much longer do you have there, Shawn?
1 day.
Truly?
This is literally 1 day more, guys. This is why I'm flying through this, because I have my last day of shooting tomorrow, and then we move to France for the final 2 weeks of shooting there in France, and then back home.
Where in France? Are you going to be in Paris or are you in the countryside?
No, we're in the country. We're in the town where the novel is set, called Saint-Malo, which is right in Brittany on the coast. It's the westernmost coast of France.
Beautiful.
So we're shooting there. It's beautiful. These huge ramparts and the ocean, massive beach. And it's where this actual event happened, where the Germans occupied it and the Americans came over and they bombed the shit out of the town in order to liberate it. Wow. And that's kind of the part of the story that we're shooting.
Oh, that's awesome.
Shawn, we have taken up way too much of your time.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you so much for delighting us.
You are an absolute delight.
Every way. You've delighted us with your art, like I said, and you've delighted us with your presence here today and your character and your perspective. And you're just a great guy and so happy for you. And you seem so happy, legitimately.
Really,
We deserve all your success. And
Shawn
more.
is always a great hang on or off work. I mean, buddy, more please. Lots more.
Well, I've loved chatting with you guys, and I love your show. I'm such a fan, and hopefully I can tell Sweeney I didn't push too hard and blow the whole thing.
No.
You were great. You were great.
You were incredible.
You were
truly.
great. We're telling you right now,
Thank you for having me, fellas. Excellent. Thank you.
I miss you, Shawn, a bunch, buddy. Hurry home.
I miss you too. All right. Bye, guys.
Love you, pal.
Bye,
buddy.
Bye.
That guy, Shawn Levy is just one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Light.
You know, I try to quit him emotionally and spiritually, you know, because he doesn't live here anymore. And
He
then
does go. He's literally got
got
17 projects in development. It's crazy.
I know. And Hayes, you were saying
awesome.
like his attitude and his energy is so sort of
infectious.
And it is. It's infectious, and it's so buoyant and upbeat and kind of you know,
like I
ready
can
for action.
imagine what that must be like on a set with a personality like that. That's just always supportive. Never. It's never like you know. I don't know if that really worked. You know, kind of like attitude. You don't want to be around that.
Let's go again and suck less.
Yeah.
He does never. You'll never hear that from him.
Right.
No, he's
amazing.
he's happy and capable. Like that's like a great combo.
It is a great combo. That's a
I
winning
love all
combo.
the stuff in the middle about like when I joked around. I was like, this is the best therapy session because and even you, Will, were like, it's now's the time. I love that to just do what you want to do. Like the only person holding you back is you. All that kind of stuff. It's one thing to know it. I mean, to hear it, but you have to incorporate it. It's the hardest.
One of the great things that we joked a lot about my dumb vacation, which was, it should be noted, the first vacation since before
Yeah, I'm glad you
COVID.
did
So-
that for yourself.
Yeah.
You and Alessandra deserve that.
Yeah,
that's nice.
and we, you know, it's been a crazy 2 years, and the baby, and he was born prematurely, and all this stuff, just all this stress, and we kind of let it all go. We were down there.
You guys haven't been just the two of you for
No,
like
No.
ever.
since before COVID. And again, I know this like, oh, poor boo-hoo. There's a lot of people who are like, I've never fucking
No,
been away.
any
So,
couple needs
get
to have just one-on-one time.
Yes,
yeah,
for
you
sure.
do. And
For sure.
and I will say one of the great things was we talked a lot about it. And I was like, look, it is fucking now. Life is happening.
Yeah, I love that.
And you got to like get out into it and
Well,
start.
speaking of, I want to go back to the things that you guys said. No more dinners in restaurant. I like to go out to dinner in restaurants still.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we just did it as a family last night. And Amanda
Isn't
and I
that
said this
nice?
morning, it's like, let's just say, I literally referenced you, Will. I said to Amanda, I said, let's do what Arnett's family was. It's like no one in, no one out on Sunday. Like
Yeah.
just any day of the week. It's nice to just commit to just having that bond or just taking a walk.
Yeah. And by the way, Alex Arnett, my mom, will be so happy to hear that Sunday night, nobody in, nobody out is still
It's
alive.
great.
Yeah.
It is great. It's so important to have those moments, and we all have a lot of look. You guys are my family. You guys are my extended family too, and but we need those moments with our kids and our significant other where we sit down and we're just kind of quiet with each other.
Yeah.
Super important.
For that, my dad just lived by that. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who are the people he was doing it with?
Yeah. They were folks that didn't mind the
ever
long
meet-
drive.
You ever
No one
meet
in,
them?
no one out.
Did you
Lock
think
the
he
door.
just drove until he ran out of gas, or did he have a destination? Like, what was the?
I'm not pumping at the next station. You in the back. What was your name again? You're going to do it. He loved hitchhikers.
He sure did.
Oh. But you know, he was nice to the way he left was nice. He didn't. It wasn't a long
There
like
comes Will.
you know thing like we'll see you
wasn't the
later or
long,
anything. It was just a
good.
really quick.
Bye. Nice, Shawn.
SmartLess is 100% organic and artisanally handcrafted by Rob Armjarv, Bennett Barbaco, and Michael Granteri.
SmartLess.
Our next episode will be out in a week wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can listen to it right now early on Amazon Music, or early and ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.